how could one reduce the gap between research and practice? I think it takes progress on both sides. On the education side, someone has to decide that this is important for teachers to know. There could be programs that included this kind of material as part of people's education. It would help them make decisions about what to do in the classroom and to evaluate the kinds of curricula that they're being given or the kind of guidelines they're being given from the top down. They would have independent skills that would allow them to independently assess what people claim, whether a reading curriculum is logical or not. We could train teachers better, there's no question. But that requires a sea change in attitude, because it's not by any means accepted by the people who teach the teachers that this is important. And indeed, people are socialized into thinking that it's not, and that they can safely ignore it. So could we have a sea change in which people suddenly recognized we really do need to make better use of this kind of science? It could happen in certain places. It could happen at, for example, schools of education that are kind of more local and less high prestige. At the high prestige universities with the well-funded schools of education, they think they're doing a good job. And the chances of actually getting a real change in how attitudes about how teachers are trained in the role of science and scientific literacy, I don't think there's any chance of making real progress there. I talk to people around the country. I talk to people who are trying to push for change in schools of education, and they are very depressed. They are very discouraged about the chances for really getting a sea change there. It might happen on a more local scale. Innovative programs, either state teachers' colleges or what used to be state teachers' colleges. There could be philanthropists who decide to invest in new ways of doing teacher education. There are various small-scale projects out there of these sorts. I think a successful program that actually did a better job of training the teachers and preparing them for the world and giving them all the tools, knowledge that they could make, giving them the tools to succeed, a program of that sort that was successful, a laboratory program, so to speak, would be great. That's about what we could hope to do. Have some model system, model program that really is terrific. The prospects for change on a broader scale, I think, are not very good. There are other potential ways to change things. There are, for better and worse, teacher education is being done through other means. One is some of the organizations that run for-profit schools or networks of charter schools. They've decided to train their own teachers. They may do a good job at it, a bad job at it, but they're basically trying to do a run around the schools of education because the people who are coming out of there are not prepared for the job. So you may see other sorts of organizations connected to education trying to do their own teacher education. I don't know if it will be done well. At the moment, the system is really, it's not changing rapidly. There isn't agreement that there's a need for change. There is the belief that it might just be a poverty problem. And I don't think the pressures are really there, despite all of our concerns, for these programs to change from within. There are opportunities to change from the outside, but we're going to have innovative new ways of approaching this. We can't keep going back to the old traditional institutions.